And go.
Yeah, we're ready.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Cause and Business Education Series brought to you by the Cause Marketing Chamber of Commerce, hosted by me, Carl DeMiling, and Guy Dawson. Tonight we have, for our learning pleasure, we have Warlyn Huffey. She is the Director of PR and Marketing for Linkedhelpers and has more than 20 years of experience in client management and customer relationships from a diverse portfolio of industries. She had a resounding contribution in the medical field as an educator, a formidable influencer in her interactions in the production and entertainment industry, and she's a passionate innovator in public relations in the pursuit of merging networks for solid collaborations in the business world. So if you could all please welcome Warlyn Huffey to our Cause and Business Education Series. Welcome, Warlyn.
Thank you so much, Carl. Hi, how are you? To all our business associates and of course, Mr. Guy Dawson. How are you doing? Thank you for having me tonight. I'm so excited to go over all this education workshops in terms of aligning each other with our businesses and our skills. I hope you're having a good night.
Oh, it's the end of the year is warming, not warming, cooling off, but for entrepreneurs, it never ends.
Good. Business is good as long as it's flowing, smoothly and like rapidly. That's great. That's good news for everybody.
And that's what you're here to talk about, right? How to keep business running smoothly. And I believe your title is Business, the Art of Delegation.
Yes, that is. Thank you so much, Carl, for giving me this chance to share, my experiences at the same time. That superpower that probably none or even we have as business owners have forgotten that we actually have that special power that we could use in our businesses. So nowadays you can actually see that the business world is rapidly changing. Definitely where social media and all these platforms, all these entities, all industries, whatever you do is moving into that pace and that speed that you have to be really so fired up and that ready to launch and scale your business to your maximum capacity. The virtual reality is so real and you can feel it right in your fingertips. It's all about social media, interaction, relationships, aligning, collaborating. And then, when you see that, you say like, what should I do, right? You don't want to be alone in this world, doing all your business and like stressing over so many things and changes. That is why tonight we're going to talk about that one single superpower among your superpowers as an entrepreneur. Possibly most of you say, oh yeah, I do have the money, I do have the brains, but you see, there's one superpower that you should always think that you have, and that's what they call delegation. That's what I'm going to talk about tonight, is the art of that delegation. Well, probably some of you would like to say, what's this delegation all about, right? If you really go into the vocabulary, delegation means that it's just the transfer of, as a responsibility for some specific task in your business, that you wanted to assign to people. Like, wait a minute, Warlyn, that seems like more of an employee relationship kind of thing. Yes, you're right. And then from a management perspective, some entrepreneurs are not exactly starting as a large corporation. They sometimes, do solo. They start as two people running it and everything. But when you come to that point where you're getting all your success in the business, you get overwhelmed. And that is why delegation is very important. Probably most of you, if you remember Andrew Carnegie, as a famous American Scottish industrialist, said that, the person that will make a good business is someone who doesn't want to do everything by himself. Definitely for Carl and Guy, they're probably also entrepreneurs. You still want to go to Hawaii. You still want to go enjoy your time in the Caribbean. You still want to have family time. You still have that, maybe time to shop around, like window shop or anything, go online, go into social media. But then if you don't know this such thing as delegation, then you're in trouble, I tell you. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to discuss that the art of delegation, right? So let's go ahead and get on this discussion, and I'll tell you some of the most important, points or pain points that you as an entrepreneur should probably share, in this regard. So let's go ahead with that one, with the first slide of ours. So let's see. They said that we as an entrepreneur, we're probably experiencing a couple of like pain points, in a business for that matter. What are pain points? Let's go over about the 10 top pain points that a business owner could ever have. And that is number one. Let's go ahead with that slide of ours. Number one pain point would be like doing everything to yourself, by yourself, right? So you wake up every day, you get your coffee, and then you wanted to enjoy breakfast, but you're running late. You're like, it's about 8 o'clock, and then you have a lot of meetings on hand and you don't have anybody to assign it to. Somebody calls you on an appointment and say, hey, can you see me in this? But you're like all over the place. You don't know what to do. That's number one pain point of a business owner that you could possibly experience at this point, right? And then, of course, the lack of time. There's 24 hours in a day. And in that 24 hours, you end up sleeping you end up with sleepless nights at all. You don't have time to like manage where to go to the meetings, go buy yourself some food. Sometimes we often even forget to eat on a certain time for lunch or breakfast or even dinner. So the lack of time is like one of those pain points that a business owner would say like, oh, just when you're about to go into one client and then another client said, hey, you got to see me at this point, or you got to call me, and that you're still here trapped in this meeting and your time management is like all over the place. So that's number two that you might experience as a business owner. And number three, you don't even know what to delegate. You don't even know what to assign. Like you say to yourself, oh yeah, I can do this. Like, don't you have this sometimes experience when you think that you can actually do everything? Like you wanted things to be done perfectly, this type of procedure, and yet you get frustrated because you don't get things done the right way or the way you wanted it. And that's something that could possibly later on, cause a lot of frustration on your part. And instead of like a continuous flow of like process in that business, everything's just again all over the place. And then of course there is the aspect that you need to focus. What are your goals? What are your mission for the company? What are your vision? Like, you just don't want to run a corporation or even a small business. Let's say you want to have a shipping, like a drop shipping business, and you don't have such a system, such a vision, such a mission, like time frame. You want to earn this thousands of dollars in about 3 months, to ROI of 6 months to about 12 months. Like everything's just not in concrete order. And of course, one of the worst things that could ever happen if things are all over the place and there's no delegation of like responsibilities would also be the employee turnover, which is like today you have an assistant, and then in about 3 days or even worse after a day, that assistant gets more overwhelmed than usual, and like it's a times 2 of your being overwhelmed with everything. and then they end up just not reporting to you at all the next day. Or number two, if you don't have a backup plan of like who to do things, and you don't know how to delegate for option two, who's to do this certain task, then that person eventually is also human, that sometimes they would get sick, they have an emergency or something like that. So you're operating on like a one-on-one or just a solo process instead of doing a team effort. You know, you don't have a backup plan. That's what you call a backup plan in running your business. And then another pain point, which is number 6, is that lack of focus. It says lack of focus of what to do, or instead of training at learning how to delegate. So if you really run down from 1 to 6 right now, it's all about things that are just not in order. And then, and up to number 7, it says that lack of knowledge to create a system and process that are stabilized or stable for long term. You see, I know that not all entrepreneurs would start like in a small scale. Some, they have money to spend and just hire every certain person that could possibly do their task. But a successful business, for that matter, entails a lot of delegation. At the same time, before you start up any business, a system or a process is totally the solution in order for you to help good things in order, at the same time documented, and at the same time, in the long term of that business, you'll be able to establish, you know, a flow that even there's changes in employees, changes in, you know, in tasks and all, everything goes back to the skeletal system of that business structure or the process. Like, for example, in a medical office, right? So there's the one that's running the front office and the back office. So in a front office, if you're really good in that system, you'll have someone who will be assigned to answer the phones, what you say when you answer the phone, what do you do when someone calls in and asks for an appointment with a doctor. A system would really make your business in a more simpler and organized, very straightforward. At the same time, the less stress you have in running a system, and you just focus on that step-by-step process daily and delegating things from 1 to 10, then everything just comes in a very good flow for that business. And let's say for a real estate person, if you have someone like an executive assistant, you'll be able to like go run to an actual open house. And after that open house, someone calls you on the phone while you're showing up some houses. And then someone, there's like 5 phone call calling you while you're talking to a person face to face in your open house. Then there's this someone, an executive assistant that could possibly, you know, assist you in answering those calls, and you will not be able to lose any of your leads at all, right? It doesn't have to be a huge team. It doesn't have to be a huge delegating team that you have. All you got to do is someone who will be there to be able to, like, you know, catch you whenever you're so busy with everything you do. And on our next slide, let's go over number 8 for that matter. And we'll go over this 8 pain points right now. So overwhelming workload on top of the scaling. So what do you mean by scaling here? Scaling is definitely just obviously how you be able to elevate your business. Like, you know, how to grow your business, how to grow your leads, how to grow your reach, how to grow your network. You're able to expand your horizon in terms of like, hey, I'm reaching this industry right now. Like for someone who's doing a lot of like mentoring or coaching and so on and so forth, then you're not just able to be able process things that are only in your locale, but you can also spread it out worldwide. You can, like, let's say that's what they said, think big, right? So when you think big, you want to scale big and not just be able to, undermine yourself and just be focused on just the little things that could limit yourself to it. And number 9, you get show customer support or lack of it. You see, if I were a customer and I would want, every customer would love to be treated nice and really, given time and effort. And a customer will always be sensitive enough to know if you are ready to help them or not. And sometimes, some customers would feel that if you don't talk to them right away, I've experienced this a lot of times with one of some of my clients that, they're very honest to you that, hey, I called you for about a day or 2 already, right? But you haven't even called me back or responded back or so on and so forth. And it creates a certain miscommunication between a lead or a customer to you as the entrepreneur. So with the system of delegation, you'll be able to have a backup person or a backup plan that whenever you're busy, you're stuck with something, or you're focused on something really important, then you have someone to assist you at that. In a doctor's perspective, for example, in a medical office, right? They call it triage, right? I don't know, most of you, some of you are in the business of medical industry, they would say triaging is like, prioritizing which one to do next or that. So that's something that's an important aspect of running a business. You have to like really be on your customers, a beacon call anyway. And number 10, the awareness of, most of our business owners would say, you wanted to be recognized. Like when, for example, Coca-Cola, for that matter, when you say Coca-Cola is already a soda, number 1 soda, or like Pepsi, Coca-Cola. So you want to create that trademark in the business and make people aware that you are the business, you are the campaign, you are the brand. Like, for example, Guy Dawson. When you say Guy Dawson, Guy Dawson, who is this guy, right? But eventually, if there's awareness of your brand, of awareness of who you are, you're able to define you as Guy Dawson, the genius behind marketing, support groups and the nonprofits and so on. You create yourself a title in the world of business, in the world of your industry, and you become iconic. I know it's too much wording, but if this is really realistically what people will define you as, you'll be recognized. Like Warlyn is like, oh, she's a singer, oh, she's like this and that's an artist. So that's one of the pain points of a business owner. They want to be recognized for who they are, for what industry, for what product, for what services they deliver. On our next slide, let's go move forward that one, or for that matter. So the amount of time, it says that the business owners face a lot of pain points. Do you believe that, guy, Carl? I bet you do. Yes, we have a lot of pain points. Wow, pain points. This looks like it's some kind of a disease, huh? Or some kind of a terminally ill chronic disease. But actually, we're humans, no? We're not robots. Business owners are not robots and will never be robots. We're eventually humans, and we experience a lot of reality in our whole humanity. So we are the genius behind a business, but we do also operate as human beings. That's why as business owners means that the jack of all trades, multitasking, you need someone. You're not Superman unless you are, but you are, yeah. But then, this is reality from a business owner's point of view. No matter how much you have all that superpower, but the best superpower you could ever have is delegating. And our next slide, it tells about the amount of time and energy to run a business is totally immense. True, right? Most of you will agree with me right now that even selling a pencil you would need to concentrate on that product and how to market a pencil for that matter. let's talk about the product that's very important to kids, right? For example, video games, right? They didn't end up just getting stuck with Mario Brothers and Nintendo, and of course those Game and Boy when we were younger. Right now, look what kids have. They have virtual reality. So business is like that too. It has so much growth and potential on it. And our next slide, we notice that there's a lot of people that in entrepreneur space who were struggling with the same things. That's why our company, Let Me Transition, that's what we do, and among other companies for that matter, that we get things done more than you could ever imagine. And the idea evolved there is that we started to offer this service ourselves, and that's what we have right now to become this business. So my company, which I'm representing, it's called Linkedhelpers. And then this is what we do best, the art of delegation. And so what are the things that usually, if you go to the next two slides after that one, which says Linkedhelpers concentrate on digital tasks as such. So what are the things that a business owner usually would encounter in the series or in the process of creating a very productive business? You have administrative tasks, definitely, right? And then you have the graphics. Nowadays, like what I said, social media is such a vast and very, very, fast-paced form of marketing funnel, and so on and so forth, and branding, marketing, everything you could ever imagine. So you need all the beautiful graphics, and they just don't settle for just pictures, but they want to do some interactive chatting, all this networking. We attend a lot of Zoom virtual. After the pandemic, everything was all over the place. Now we're going to go virtual all the way. So yeah, graphics is really something that could spike up or like spark up your business. And of course, we do a lot of like bookkeeping. The business world is not a charity, not just a charity, nor even nonprofits have their own system of organizing financially. And that is why every business, whether profit or nonprofit, would need a bookkeeping side to it, a financial side to be able to structure everything, the profits, the losses. Why? Is that just to count money? No. Financing is not just all about counting money. It's about being transparent in every operation that happened in order for you to learn that, oh, I only gained a peso. I only gained $1. I only gained a fraction of my return of investment. So the bookkeeping of financial side will teach you, will give you the numbers, will give you the statistics, will also give you a prognosis. You give you the progress of where you started. Like, I don't want to be specific, but I'm Filipino Chinese, and my elders would teach me on how to really value even a penny or even a centavo in the Philippine peso. So that means that every penny counts. You count it. What did it do for you? Did it give you lunch? Did it give you food? Did it give you money to pay your employees? Or did it give you whatever it is? So every money should be accounted just because you wanted to see your progress in the end. In that way, when you come to your success or you come to that, you'll be able to say to yourself, yes, Carl, you earned your money, right? And then, of course, through the years, you'll be able to see the financial aspect of the progress. And of course, social media, my goodness. This social media back in the days, we were just contented with radio, television, banners. I remember back in the days when in 2001, I had my first child. We did a couple of like advanced screening of Harry Potter. I was just telling somebody a week ago that, hey, I was running this events about showing off some Harry Potter movies. That's my production company. And wait a minute, how did I survive the media aspect of that one? I tell you, I used to print banners, flyers, radio, and everything. But now social media is so easy, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, however you want to do it, you got it, right? And there's such a thing now as social media manager. It even blossomed to a different career for everybody. And every company now, I mean, maybe not all, but 99% of all businesses have a social media manager or a social media person that need to really post 2 to 3 times a week and so on and so forth. And lastly, we have this call center. How do we do this? Like, Carl, I really want to sell you some vacation to Hawaii, right? But of course, I have a catch. You got to attend my timeshare presentation, or you got to attend some sort of like, okay, Carl, I'll give you 5 days in Hawaii, but you need to like sit down for a couple of hours, just to get. And people don't want to do that. Not all people want it. Me, I would love to do it. I have a free vacation. I'll just sit down. But you see, for a business person who wants to sell that product, he needs cold calling. Oh, everybody could have probably dreaded that cold calling thing. Like you got to call strangers, like hang up the phone and like, I'm sorry, I got no time, and so on and so forth. So we do that too. We be able to like assist business owners to be able to knock on their doors, knock on their phones, contact them, do warm leads, cold leads in order for them to be successful in their business and so on. And our next slide, let's see, it comes to the things that possibly be able to achieve from that art of delegation that we always do with our company. So we have the VA support system. So what VA stands for, the virtual assisting company that we have. So what are these individuals do? We do support all this administrative side, the financial side, the social media side, the everything that you could ever imagine that could possibly delegate to anybody. You could possibly have an executive assistant who can, make sure that Carl, you can go to Hawaii today, you can go to the Bahamas next week, and still your phone calls are covered. Somebody will answer your phone calls. You'll have your clients scheduled. Hey, Carl, I need you to come next week, and these are your meetings. It looks like even you're just starting off your business. You come in as a independent business owner of a certain company for legal matters, just like Catherine or somebody else like that. And yet you're expanding. You can feel that your clientele is expanding and you have so much to do. And at the same time, you needed someone and you're just solo. You don't, the budget is still a little limited, and that's very straightforward reality. Right now, we're still moving into that transition from the pandemic to just using our resources. Then hiring a personal assistant virtually would eventually only charge you a little bit of extra money, not just the full scale of really hiring someone with a full-time job. So that's one thing that's a delegation could eventually do for you. For Guy, he's an amazing nonprofit organizer, founder, and he also has cost marketing and a lot more projects than that. But Guy, he has all this potential mentally and socially. He has a lot of ideas. But what would be the best move to do in order for him to achieve all these goals and everything that he could ever contribute to community? That is what we call aligning and delegation. So he delegates all the other tasks that he wanted to achieve, and boom, you come into a full circle of like just things in good flowing motion, right? And so we also do a couple of like calendar management. You would need someone to really like remind you that in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, you need to follow up on your clients and so on and so forth. Everybody happy. Your client, you're happy. at the same time, your family, your spouse, your partner, whoever that is, and possibly future leads that are waiting in your timeline or your database. You got everything all secured and ready to go. Nowadays, let me give you an example. I have friends in the digital business nowadays. They came up with this. They have this industry. It's very exciting. They earn a lot of dollars. They earn a lot of money, and I must admit, most are very successful, and I do congratulate. And one of them is on board right now in our discussion. And I feel that I'm really, really rooting for them in terms of whatever industry. And it doesn't matter if you're a small or a huge business owner. All you got to do is be passionate about what you do, have that organizational skills and the delegation skills. That is what I always tell you, that that's your superpower in order to delegate things for you to achieve that success in the end. So let's move on to the next slide. It will just show you how we can do as a, in terms of like administration skills, the data entry, putting in everything in order for you there. We can go about just directing some questions on that one later on, but these are just tasks that eventually what a business virtual assistant can do for you, which can really definitely help you in terms of delegation. So in the call center industry, we also very equipped in like putting that system in your businesses in order for us to help you achieve your return of investment, at the same time a successful lead generator for you. At the same time, it covers you with the savings in terms of like employment, in terms of like paying off every single employee. And then at the same time, what are the tasks that you as an owner you wanted to delegate, like cold calling or warm lead calling, or like do a couple of technical support or customer support, telemarketing, the lead generation, telesales, market research for nonprofits. We do that too. And even even the politician side, where they wanted to be prepared for any political campaigns in the future, we can do that as well. We can do your market research and business plan research. We can do a lot of SEO projects for you. And one thing good about this, if you are if you're a website designer, maybe one of my friends are here on board too, we can help you be your partner in terms of delivering your clients an on-time task on what they want to do. You can concentrate on your skill set as an SEO or as a website designer, or you can concentrate on your very number one skills of like doing all the technicals in that website. But what we do is we can do a lot of like, promoting you in terms of social media. You can incorporate that in your business. Our company is very much open into aligning and collaborating with every single industry that is able to delegate your tasks to our employees. And then of course, we do a lot of content making in terms of business documents, in terms of like how to develop your websites at the same time. And we also promote, your products. We do a lot of, nowadays, there's such an industry called e-commerce. They call it back in the days e-commerce, but right now it's more of like really going into the automation of Amazon and Shopify and all those. If you want to create your own e-shopping experience or e-shopping company, we can do that as well. We're highly capable and highly skilled, for that matter, to create such an enormous amount of leads for you in terms of like long-term to short-term goals. And what we do too as a delegating company is we do have a profit and loss strategy meetings. We can go ahead, give you guidance on that one too. If you're a startup business owner, you don't know what to do, you're about to send a profit and loss and a business plan strategy, maybe a grant that you needed to present in order for you to have more funding, then we do that as well, if you wouldn't want to ask me about it later on. And of course, branding. branding is very important in a business. You wanted to be that campaign, like what I said earlier. Guy Dawson doesn't just want to be recognized as Guy Dawson. He wants to be recognized as what he does best and what he's super capable of, which is really incorporating people into a very strong organization, at the same time creating a lot of connections in terms of the financial business and also the nonprofits and marketing. And like this event that we're doing right now, we're just basically just sharing experiences and be able to align to each other and be able to help each other successfully in the future or in the present time. And of course, the next stage would come up with there are times when we cannot never control what the customer wants, right? They wanted us to work on it right away on a weekend, just when you have already scheduled your family time and so on and so forth. You need to finish like a project that you need to do, and they want it done by like this certain time. So that's what we do best as well as a company. We can assist you do something like that for you while you're away, still enjoying time with a pre-scheduled time with your family, that you don't want to make your family feel that you don't have time for them. We can as well do that as a team for you and be able to cover you on those little glitches or little times that you need to cope up with in order to make your business steady as usual and as flowing as possible. And we do a lot of rush jobs as well. These are just slides that tell you exactly what we do as a company. And of course, specific tasks that we can do. We do a lot of logo making, a lot of business cards and everything, and so on and so forth. Because it's a reality, not all that wants to go into business have this skills, like what I said, we're humans, we're not automated. Carl is not someone who's like, okay, Carl, program 1, 2, 3, zoom, make a this and that. You are limited, and that's a reality that you should accept. But it doesn't mean it will hinder you from doing great things. But at the same time, you have the power of your mind and your capacity to delegate tasks and to be able to really find solution. That's one thing about humans that robots doesn't have. We feel, we think, we perceive, and we have the passion to do what we do best. And that is why we are business owners, and we have that vision to really achieve success. And of course, the next slide, we just tell you the type of industry that we do, right? We do a couple of corporations, we do a couple of insurance agents, we do a lot of medical field tasks. And of course, in terms of medical field, you would say, oh, what about HIPAA, or what about this personalized things like that? Well, we also very sensitive and very conforming to the system that is in the medical field, like HIPAA violations and so on. So we can talk about that if you're that kind of industry. And then of course, law firms. And then we also do a lot of like tasks for financial institutions, for mortgages, for loan mortgage brokers, at the same time, the small businesses, and of course, the mid-sized company and real estate. In fact, our portfolio is that in Las Vegas, we do a lot of social media management for a lot of restaurants. One of them is a very famous Italian restaurant in Vegas. Of course, we cannot divulge that information, but we do a lot of that task. Like, we cover you in that industry or that side of things. And of course, what we number one of our top priorities also are real estate agents, because we do a lot of cold callings, we do a lot of warm leads calling, we do a lot of your tasks that you can possibly delegate for those who are in the industry of real estate, from inbox management to call management to like everything. Cold calling, we find clients for you, and so that you'll be able to expand your leads. And then next one is that we are also have free consultation. It doesn't mean that if you wanted to do a free consult, we already assume that you want this and that. It's a time for us to really get to know your operations, get to really specifically see what you need as a task or delegated task you need for your business. At the same time, we are COVID friendly. That's why we call it virtual, right? So, all right. So that's about it. So Link Helpers is what I represent, and that is I'm the director for PR marketing. I connect people, I connect business owners, I connect individuals to be a part of us in aligning and have a relationship with us in terms of like helping you out expand your business from small to medium to large businesses. So Link Helpers offer business owners that opportunity to free up more time. Think about this, Carl. You know, today you're here with us, and then tomorrow, you can still go on a little vacation, a little time with whoever is with family, or someone gave you a very surprising phone call, and still your calendar is on the move. You know, someone's in there trying to help you out virtually in terms to catch up with everything that you needed help with or delegation. And then of course, and that increases your revenue just because business doesn't stop. Business doesn't sleep. It's a 24/7 operation if you'd like it to be like that, right? Would that be great? And then of course, before we end this one, I'd like to invite you to on the 25th of January, we do have this upcoming event that you're invited. And of course, we have some speakers that we're going to be on board for you to listen to. We have a Mr. Raymond Wilson, that's in a finance guru or a very experienced in that field of industry. And then of course, we have the Altered State, which is in digital marketing. We'll be able to show you a couple of new trends in the social media world or digital world right now. And in the legal side of things, which is quite important for a business, we also have Rick Cosgrove. And last but not the least, Mr. Guy Dawson will be there to give you a little bit of every action that a nonprofit could ever have. So I'm really, really excited to be part of that event as well. So I hope you sign up and give us a holler and let us know that, hey, that's something that I really would like to be a part of. And it's going to be on the 25th of January. And thank you again, guys. If you have any questions, I'm right here. You can ask any question for that matter. It doesn't have to be regarding Link Helpers. You can ask anything that I've touched on for a couple of minutes ago. And go ahead, Carl. Thanks for that.
All righty. Thank you, Warlyn. That was excellent. This seems like the perfect way for someone who just got into business. Maybe they're a solopreneur. It's a great way to make them look big to people they've never met before, because it's like, wow, they have a full-time staff. They've got people that get the phone. They got other people that address the email while this person's in the Bahamas.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. And you know, I haven't really touched on the statistical side or the money side of it. If you really want to go deep into the financial side, a person right now to really of course there is no, you cannot beat face-to-face interaction. Okay, I'm not telling everybody that this is like, let's take away face-to-face, but this is just because nowadays, you know, everything is in the virtual reality in terms of we want to be at pace with what's going on. I'm not saying you that let's go virtual all the way, right? It's not that. This is just a part of that business growth that is happening around us. So it's an alternative, a great alternative for you to run your business. If you're a small scale business owner starting off your own business, then it would be a great way for you to at least, you know, take care of your money, startup money for that matter. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All righty. Are there any questions from the audience?
Very well done on a lot of levels, Warlyn. I love the fact that you went through the true pain points of business people. It really makes you think about, you know, you're in business and you're just getting things, you're just doing it, right? Oh, so many of us, or I can only really speak for myself, but I'm around a lot of people who are running businesses, and you're just so engaged in things. And I just don't think we realize our pain points. I think we're just trying to get it done. And so delegating things, the art of delegation is such a powerful thing for for business owners to embrace. If you want to take your business from that solopreneur level, or if you've got a small business and it's run, and if you're working 100 hours a week, right, which is what so many small business people are doing, how sustainable is that? You know, at some point you got to bring people in to help you. You have to learn how to delegate. I think we're, as business owners, we're very control freak oriented people. My experience, my own self, by the way. And I think learning how to delegate and bringing a team in to help you with these things is really, it's really critical. Just great information that you shared.
Yes, it is. You know what? Honestly, I understand, you know, what it means to, like, if for example, I'm someone who wants to start a business, like, oh, I want to do some kind of a, I'm just a small agent for like an electrical company or a solar company. It doesn't matter. We'll take care of you. You know, you still have a child, you still have a partner, you still have a girlfriend, you still have a boyfriend. You don't want to destroy your personal life and just focus on your passion. You want to have things flowing so good with good yen and everything. So you want to organize your priorities. That's what it's called. And that's what we call life, happy life, right? I mean, like, you don't want to be successful money wise and then ended up alone or nobody, you know, or nothing to do but just numbers and go to the office every day. So one person, we're not telling you you have to like get someone, 2 or 3 people. One person would be great. You know, it could really eventually help you delegate things and you make your life easier and happier. Right? So
yeah, I really appreciate Linkedhelpers right now. You guys are helping the Cause Marketing Chamber of Commerce with some of our social media projects. And one of the things that I really appreciated, Warlyn, and is I had a meeting with some of your staff recently with Janine and March, and the fact that you guys kept teaching business owners how to delegate is a big part of the process. And so the consistency, the follow-up that you guys had with me, where I got in that mode that most of us get in, where we just get, you have a bunch of projects, you've got all these things that you need, but having that person behind you to follow up, we're here to help you. I want to give that testimonial for Linkedhelpers, is you've shown that is so important. You guys didn't give up on me, even though I wasn't available to you, right? And you guys, and you took the initiative and you got things done. I was sharing, you got it done in spite of me.
Oh my, you just don't know how
for
busy
business people, sometimes that's what we need. We need someone to get it done in spite of us. And so I wanted to share that testimony about your great work.
Thank you, Guy. I know, Mr. Guy Dawson is an amazing, amazing person, not just an entrepreneur. You just don't know what this guy can do. He has all the nonprofits and just merely connecting people here and there. One thing I wanted to also tell you guys that our company, you hire not just one person, but you hire an entire team. Believe me. And I've always believed, and I always say that our system is so organized in the sense that you really have to like tell us exactly what you need, and we will deliver as exactly what you wanted, because we have a system that will, it's like, you're there. It's like, it's virtual, but still you feel that you're just there, you're just looking at everything virtually, but you're in control. You're still the boss. You are our boss, and you will be the boss of all this delegating team that we're going to make for you. Yeah. And of course, our company's vision is really to create more jobs as well. We wanted to let you know that you just don't know the amount of people that we're helping virtually as well, for giving them jobs to do what you give them. So yeah.
Do we have any other questions from our audience?
Yeah, I wanted to encourage, excuse me, Carl. I just wanted to encourage everyone. I had reached out in the chat and I wanted you to share your information about your business, because this is a networking opportunity. We host this event all the time. And one of the things that we like to do is connect people, like Warlyn was talking about a second ago. So if you had the time, it would be great if you put your information in the chat box. I know I shared my name, my company's name, my email address. If you'd like to do that, we greatly appreciate it, because again, we're all about, as a Chamber of Commerce, we're all about connecting people who are in business. So if you wanted to take the time to do that, yeah, we greatly appreciate it. And we're always looking to bring people together to create great business contacts. So please do that if you get a chance.
One thing good about it too, in terms of like virtually helping each other, is that the cost of your business, it lessens you to a point where, you get to only spend a fraction of what you need to in an actual hiring like a real person. So if you are like in a budget, if you want to start your business at the same time, you want to expand more in your business, then you get into a budget friendly, at the same time, very efficient way of delegating tasks.
Yeah, I see it also as a great way to learn. Like I talked about before, for some people, they've not had the experience. They have a great idea for a business. They're doing really well individually at it, but maybe they don't have a lot of experience working with a staff or a lot of leadership experience. So I think having this type of a virtual presence could be really helpful for a business person to start to learn how to work with a staff, to see what it's like to work with someone, to delegate things to other people. That doesn't necessarily come natural to everyone who's running a business. That's something I've seen through the years, Warlyn, is a lot of times people, they're very good at what they do, but learning how to run a team, they may not have a skill in doing that. But the support that you get from a virtual team inexpensively, as compared to you going out hiring a part-time or a full-time secretary or a social media manager, I mean, those costs start to add up. But for an entry-level business, I think that learning how to develop a staff, having a virtual presence like that could be a helpful way to do that.
And one thing we can do too is that we're not just only helping like the small owners or business owners, for that matter, or mid-size. That's why we also have this business side of us, which is the call center industry that we have, is that we do outsourcing. At the same time, our headquarters is based in Las Vegas, Nevada. So our head team or our leadership team is based in Las Vegas. Although we definitely outsource our services or our employees, but still these employees are highly skilled, are definitely going to be subordination with whatever system or operations you want to happen. And let's take an example would be like a so-called like those, businesses like solar industry, or even call center, travel industry, even the medical field. Some doctors, they would need more help in terms of like calling patients, reminding patients, at the same time scheduling appointments and so on. These are things that we can possibly really, do for you. Instead of you hiring an actual team, you can hire probably a fragment of an actual team in the office, but at the same time you have a backup team just in case, like what I said, we're humans. Sometimes some of us get sick, or we have family matters to attend to, we have some emergencies we have to go to. So a virtual team is the way to do it nowadays in terms of like operations and scaling your business.
Absolutely.
So Guy, how's cost marketing by far as in terms of like, I hope we have really like helped you so much better in terms of like operating and forming. This is a very good way of educating to this format that we have right now, to extend to people, and not just to sell our businesses, but at the same time create relationships in terms of collaborating and helping out in the industry and the community.
Yeah, we've been hosting these workshops. Carl has been facilitating these for a couple of years now, and we designed this whole thing to, as you had mentioned, Warlyn, to provide great education about all these different types of industries. So we've had tax people, we've had marketing people, we've had cause marketing oriented consultants, so many different industries that have had opportunities to share what they do on this platform. And it's just another way for us as a Chamber of Commerce to connect with the business community, because we're known as a cause marketing Chamber of Commerce. So obviously we have a lot of alignment with nonprofit organizations. I mean, that's a huge part of what we do. But the reason why we're a Chamber of Commerce is because of the importance of the business element, and that we really want to help businesses, professionals, and entrepreneurs to be more successful in what they do. And so that's what these presentations are all about. They're about connecting people, and they're all about providing great information that we hope will help the business community, because we know that the more successful the people are in business that are associated with Cause Marketing Chamber of Commerce, the more they're going to want to give back to all the worthy nonprofits that we work with. And so that's what we're all about, is strengthening both sides. And this is one of the platforms that we use specifically to support the success of people who are in business, as well as nonprofits, because we've had nonprofit oriented presentations as well. But yeah, this is our give back to the business community, this event.
That is good, because I know the pandemic has really caused a lot of, pauses in terms of like operations for every single business, or even events, or even the way of life of people. But we're really, really very happy that right now things are getting, slowly going back into action, at the same time going back into operating normally again, despite some little scares that we have health wise. I'd like to acknowledge some of our guests right here. I think I see some of my friends on board. We have Jocelyn Korea Wing, an excellent one of the, she got great skills in terms of SEO engineering, and at the same time website designing. She's on board. This is Guy Dawson, Miss Jocelyn, and this is Carl. She's a very good friend of mine, and for years, and she's one of those like really great website designers. And at the same time, we do have also Mr. Randy Brad on board, and he's a very high seasoned also copywriter and also content writer. At the same time, they're good in their industry in terms of like SEO, and they're also getting into a lot of marketing media. And it's good to collaborate. And of course, and Miss Catherine Irwin, my good friend Catherine, is in the legal industry. We'd like to thank her to be on board with us today, still right now. And if you have any questions, we would like to say thank you for joining us in this event tonight. Yeah.
So we do have this recorded, and our website is regularly updated. Could you tell us your contact information one more time so people can get a hold of you?
Yes. So my phone number is directly at 458-802-8697. You can best reach me at that phone number, at 458-802-8697. I do have also my email address, which is warlyn.huffey@linkedhelpers.com. For that matter, if you're on Cost Marketing as a member, and you can definitely reach out to Mr. Guy Dawson, and definitely Guy could let us know if you need any assistance or any help or any information for that matter for all our services. And at the same time, Facebook, I do have also a Facebook page, so everybody's very welcome to take part, and you can constantly reach out to this recording. They'll be able to share this every now and then. And then, hey Joe, how are you? You have any question? I see Jocelyn. And then please feel free to reach out. We'll be able to help you out in every question that you have. You have any question for us, Joe?
Nice presentation, so thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for supporting us. And of course, I'm happy that you get to meet Mr. Guy Dawson. He's based in Las Vegas. He has a lot of the he is head of the nonprofit for also for cost marketing, and his vision and mission, you know, for the community is very outstanding as yours. So yeah, it will be a start of a good collaboration as well. And you know, thank you for being here tonight, joining us.
Yes, thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you, Guy, and nice meeting you, everyone.
Yeah, so nice to meet more of your team. And I'll go ahead, Carl, and make announcements about some of our upcoming events while we got a second here. So the Cause Marketing Chamber of Commerce hosts a monthly mixer event. And at that event, we feature a nonprofit organization or a business. And our next event is going to be on December the 27th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it will be at Mimi's Cafe in Henderson here in right outside of Las Vegas. It will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we will feature, this mixer will feature a for-profit business. And the business is called Care. And they have a really, really interesting business. They are rebuilding cars. They buy cars at a deep discount, they rebuild them, and then they're able to sell them at a deep discount. It's just these two young people are developing a business that is just, I'm very, very impressed by it. It's the first time that we've had a for-profit business that's actually presented at one of these monthly mixers, and it's because of what they want to do with their mission is to help to reduce the $1 trillion car debt that we have in America right now. It's unbelievable that we have $1 trillion in car debt. And they want to show people through being able to rebuild these cars and sell them at a discount without having to take on debt, that they can buy quality cars and not have to go into debt to do that. So we love the mission of what Care is doing. They will be the featured business at that event. Of course, we'll talk about nonprofit organizations. It's a networking opportunity. So that will be on the 27th, Tuesday, the 27th of December from 6 to 8 p.m. We host these Cause and Business Education Series events on the third Tuesday of every month. Our next one will be on the 17th of January. They're always online. I know that Carl's working on finding someone to be the presenter for next month. Of course, also the fourth Tuesday of every month, we have these mixer events. And so we'll be making announcements. You can always go to the causemarketingchamber.com website, updates on the things that we're doing. And in March, we are tentatively scheduled for late March. We don't have a date yet for our big event, which is called Businesses with Heart. That is our cause marketing revival that we do every 6 months. We bring together businesses and nonprofit organizations. We feature a nonprofit, and it's a great way for you to learn a lot about the cause marketing community and how you can participate in it. So yeah, lots of things going on in the new year. We're really excited about 2023. And again, thank you so much to Linkedhelpers for excellent information that you shared. And we really appreciate you as well for donating your services to the Cause Marketing Chamber of Commerce to help us keep up with our social media presence. We're really appreciative of that.
You're welcome. Thank you so much too for like collaborating and aligning, and giving us this chance to be able to share our views on delegation. And it's not just about getting us our services, but at the same time showing to the community what's the best thing to do right now to be able to like really embrace your capacity and your superpower to delegate things. A great leader is not just the person that will lead the flock, but be able to multiply and to even make a duplication of who you are as a leader, which is like, that's one thing that's a very ideal way of like being successful in a business, to be able to train someone. That's like what they said, in the biblical term, you don't give food or you don't give fish to someone, but you tell them how to fish, right? So that's exactly a good philosophy and an attitude and character in terms of like leadership, and that's delegation in the diplomatic and the most perfect form of like being successful in the business world.
Alrighty, thank you very much, everyone. That was Warlyn Huffey from Linkedhelpers. I want to thank her again for presenting and how to show even solopreneurs how to look like a big shot in the industry.
Definitely.
All right, any closing thoughts, Guy, before we log out?
Nope. Have a happy holidays, everyone, and really looking forward to a productive 2023 in the business and cause marketing worlds.
Excellent. Goodbye, everyone.
Happy holidays. Thank you.